Holy shit. Holy shit. This game is awesome. Yeah. It's nothing like this piece of shit. It's garbage. Anyways, A Link Between Worlds. I picked it up. I've heard everybody freaking out about the game. I mean, I heard things about it like, you can do the dungeons in not any order. Before that, I wasn't really excited about it, but when they said that, I was like, holy shit, I have to get this. Everybody's giving it 10 out of 10s and everything, and like, 9s, whatever, high scores, so I had to get it. And like I said, when I made the previous video about my feelings about Skyward Sword, I mentioned about the next Zelda. I was gonna see what it was about and see if it interested me. Which the article about the dungeons in any order, you can do it in any order you want, interested me. So I decided to pick it up. And my God, am I glad that I bought it, because this game is a masterpiece. This is probably my game of the year. I mean, the contenders, the first game that I played was Luigi's Mansion for the 3DS. That was like game of the year for me. Then I actually played a modern game for once because it interested me. Because I like survival horror, and the acting captivated me. It grabbed me, so I had to pick it up. I was like, "What the fuck am I doing? Fucking sitting around? I gotta buy this game," which was The Last of Us. That was my game of the year. Like, The Last of Us is fucking amazing. But this game right here, man, I think this is my game of the year. I'm gonna cop out and say that this is my game of the year because it's amazing. I mean, what am I gonna say now? Now, granted, this video is gonna be spoilerish, so if you haven't played A Link Between Worlds, don't watch it. Um, so yeah, it's just fantastic. It's kind of like, I want to say it's kind of like Final Fantasy 9 to the Final Fantasy series. It mixes the old with the new, and it does it very well. It's a perfect blend. Link Between Worlds, it's the same thing. It mixes the old and the new. A Link to the Past with A Link Between Worlds. The overworld is pretty much the same. It's very similar. I mean, it's pretty much the same, but there are certain tweaks and certain differences, and whatnot. And it's got a whole new story. Well, for the kinda, I mean, it kind of still follows the same story in a sense from A Link to the Past, but then it changes it up. And there's things in the game where there's twists at the end that are amazing. Like, you're gonna just be like, "Holy shit!" It's really good. It catches you off guard and everything. It's just amazing. I love all the renditions of music that they did from A Link to the Past that are in this game now. The new renditions. It's really good. The music is really good. I really enjoy the music a lot. Um, it's just overall it's a masterpiece. Like, while playing this game, I was even thinking, wow, this kind of gives A Link to the Past a run for its money. Now, I thought about this heavily since, I've been playing this game for a couple of days now. I've beat the normal game 100%, and I just got through. Just now, I just got through finishing Hero Mode 100%. So I'm completely done with the game. And I thought about it, and I want to say that they're even. A Link to the Past. I know you're like, what? How could this even outdo or even be in the same league as A Link to the Past? But I feel that way. I think it's even. It's kind of like the remake of Ocarina of Time to the original. Like, it's even. Ocarina of Time remake did some things better than the original, and then vice versa. This is the same thing. Link Between Worlds does some things better, and vice versa. So I can't really say one's better than the other. Although I will say that I overall, even though I say it's evenly, I still think A Link to the Past is better. just because of the fact of nostalgia. I mean, I played it when I was like 10, and the fact that it is pretty much a perfect game. Like there's nothing really wrong with it. It's got perfect challenge. That's the thing with A Link Between Worlds. It's a fucking easy game. It's not that hard. That's the thing that's kind of a little bit, is it's too easy. And the dungeons are, they they're they feel like, now that I've played it a second time, the dungeons are quick. They're not that big. I mean, they're still good, but the dungeons seem a little bit smaller. Um, Especially Turtle Rock in this game, because Turtle Rock was lazily done. I felt it was not done with that much effort. I mean, you have two big hub areas. They're big areas, and then there's just little rooms that are like to the left and the right and all around. There's not much going on, and the music is. But the thing I will say about A Link to the Past, A Link Between Worlds, that beats A Link to the Past, is the fact that it has unique dungeon music when you go to Lorule, hence the Dark World. In A Link to the Past, it's the same music for every single dungeon. And in A Link Between Worlds, it's unique. Now, granted, there may be like 3 songs that are the same melody, but they do different renditions of it. But there's other songs that are completely different, like the Ice Ruins. Or actually, the Ice Ruins is a rendition. Like the Ice Ruins, the Thieves' Hideout, and some other dungeons have the same melody, but it's different sound, like different sounding. But that's pretty cool. Also, the great thing about A Link Between Worlds is the Pegasus boots. Remember in A Link to the Past, when you got the Pegasus boots, you can dash in 4 directions: up, down, left, right. Well, in A Link Between Worlds, you can dash in all 8 directions. It's amazing. Horizontally, you can dash fucking left, right, blah, 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 all over the fucking place. It's fucking great. And I like the dash a lot better in A Link Between Worlds. Just the feeling of it. Just the fact when you start doing it and then you start dashing, the sound effects for the footsteps is perfect. It's so good. If you feel so amazing when you do it, and then you can like go like you just go on and stop and slide your boots. It feels good. It feels good. And really, the 60 frames per second on this game makes a difference. It feels clean. It feels smooth. It feels really good. Now, like, the only thing that there's a couple of things, like little nitpicks that bothered me. Like, some of the sound effects are not that good, but then again, some of them are. It's a mixture, and you know they went all out with the music in A Link Between Worlds, right? They followed A Link to the Past pretty well, but there's some things where there was missed opportunities where they could have, spoilers. The Triforce Chamber music from A Link to the Past. That music's amazing, and they had a missed opportunity. They could have used it when Zelda and Link were walking up to the Triforce at the end. They could have played it there, but they didn't play anything. They just had nature sound effects. It was a missed opportunity. They could have did some other things, put some other music in, but whatever. They still did good with the music for the most part. And the final dungeon in A Link to the Past, it's Ganon's Tower, and in A Link Between Worlds, it's Lorule Castle. Lorule Castle was kind of disappointing. It wasn't that great. The music was great, although I find it funny that after you unlock the big door in the final dungeon, like you do the 4 areas and you beat the 4 bosses, the music goes all Skyrim. Like it was kind of weird. It was kind of funny. I was like, they're doing Skyrim. No, it's Skyrim. Like each time you beat a boss, the music builds up more and more. So when you beat all 4 bosses, open the door, it does the Skyrim shit, like, oh yeah, boom boom boom, and the drums, oh yeah, with the Skyrim music. I'm like, what the fuck, man? I mean, what's his name, the producer of Zelda, Anoma or whatever, he says he talked about Skyrim with Zelda before and everything. So he must have been inspired by Skyrim's music a little bit to add that in. But the difficulty is not that. Like I said, the difficulty is easy as shit. That's the only thing that bothers me. Now, granted, there is a hero mode. Like I said, I got through beating hero mode. This is the best hero mode that has ever been put in a Zelda game. I mean, the first hero mode was what? Ocarina of Time 3D. You take double damage or whatever, or it's mirror mode or whatever. And then they put hero mode in Skyward Sword, which I don't give a fuck about that game. But again, you take double damage. Now in this hero mode, you take quadruple the fucking damage. It's insane. It's insane. You take quadruple the damage. If you're gonna play Zelda and you feel Zelda's easy like me, that's what you're gonna play on. You're gonna play on hero mode only. And it was a challenge. It was pretty good. I mean, now granted, even though you take quadruple damage, an easy game is still easy. Like, it's all about the level design, the enemy placement, and everything. The designs for the rooms, how there's a flood of enemies and all this stuff. It's still really easy, unfortunately, in A Link Between Worlds, even with the hero mode, but whatever. See, that's what I liked about A Link to the Past, was it was challenging. It gave you a fruitful challenge. Going in Ganon's Tower, when you go up the floors, each floor got progressively harder and harder, then to ridiculous, and then ridiculous. Like, they had the whole floor with ice, where it was hard to move. There was bottomless pits, there was moving platforms, there was oddly placed enemies. The challenge got crazy at the end, and I love that. That's one of the greatest things I love about A Link to the Past, is that it did that. Now, granted, all that aside, it's a great game. Pick it up. I would go as far as to say, if, like I say with Xenoblade with the Wii, if you don't have a 3DS for some reason yet, fucking pick it up for this game and get all the other great games that are on the system, because there's the 3DS has been out for a while now, and it has a lot of great games that you can pick up. So this is like the perfect time to get a 3DS if you don't have one already. It's amazing. Oh man, I could go on about this game. Just the level design is perfect. The merging concept, the way with the design, how they structured it, or the dungeons around that, and the overworld as well, is pretty damn good. It's really rewarding to be like, oh, well, I wonder if I merge here, if I go up the hill a little bit, get some height, and merge and explore and see what I can find. It's really good stuff. You know, you collect the Mayamais. There's 100 of them, so it's kind of like collecting the 100 gold Skulltulas in Ocarina of Time. Um, it's pretty cool. I mean, each 10, the 10 you find, you get an upgrade. Now, I've seen some people bitch about the rent system and they don't like it. Oh, because they don't want to break the tradition. They don't want something fresh. You know what I mean? They don't want. Oh, I'm so used to getting an item in a dungeon, and now you don't get items anymore, and you just have to rent all your weapons. I think it's better that you can rent your weapons and your items, because you have more freedom. It's more non-linear. I mean, I'm kind of to the point where it all started with, was it Majora's Mask or Wind Waker that it started? The linearity where you get an item in a dungeon and you have to you have to do the dungeons in order, the way that it's structured. I'm sick of that. You know what I mean? I remember it well in Wind Waker, because that was the last Zelda that I played out of Majora's Mask and Wind Waker. It was Wind Waker, and yeah, you got to do the dungeons in a fucking order. Like, it's kind of annoying, because I want to break off the path. I mean, even in Ocarina of Time, you could break off the path when when you become an adult. I mean, yeah, you got to do the Forest Temple first, and yeah, in A Link Between Worlds, there's a if you want to do a certain dungeon, like say if you want to do the what is it, the dungeon with all the sand and stuff, I forgot what it's called, um the Tomb of Sand or whatever. If you want to do that, you can't do that until you beat, was it the thieves hideout, because the only way to get the sand rod, which you need to do that temple, is you have to beat the thieves hideout, and then it unlocks the sand rod. So that's like the only like exception. Other than that, it's completely free. You can do any dungeon for the most part that you want. So, and it's not like you don't get items in the dungeon. I mean, yeah, they took out those like weapons that you get, like hammer and an arrow and all that stuff, and they took out the hook shot, and you can't get that stuff in the dungeons, but they've replaced it with, you can get an upgrade for your power glove, so you get the Titan mitts. You can get master ores, where if you get 2 master ores, you can upgrade your master sword. You temper it into the red sword, you get 2 more master ores, then you can temper it into the gold sword, which is amazing. Then you could get like there's a new thing called the stamina scroll, which upgrades your stamina gauge, so we can merge longer and use items more and all that stuff. So it's, I don't understand why people bitch. I mean, it's something fresh. I appreciate that. I appreciate A Link Between Worlds. It's a fresh experience while mixing the old with the new, and I think it's incredible. So, I mean, is there anything else I wanted to talk about? There's just so many good. There's so much good stuff in the game. I mean, yeah, there's certain disappointments, like, and another one is like you can't. Like, you get one shield in the game, and then you upgrade to the Hylian shield in Turtle Rock. That's the item that you get. You can't, throw your shield in, your regular shield in the water with the fairies and upgrade the magic shield, the red shield. You can't do that. It's unfortunate. You know, I do miss my magical boomerang, because in A Link to the Past, the boomerang is, I'm all about the boomerang. I'm all about zooming through the game and quickly picking up my rubies when I kill enemies with the boomerang without stopping. And I love the red boomerang in A Link to the Past, and it sparkles and everything, but you don't get that in A Link Between Worlds. You get the blue boomerang, but the great thing about it, yeah, you lose the sparkle and everything, but you can throw the boomerang up to 3 times in a row at the same time, and that's pretty fucking cool. So you get all the upgrades. Once you get all 100 Maya Mai's, you get the Great Spin, which the Great Spin is broken. Okay, the AOE for the Great Spin is fucking broken. It takes up the whole screen. You can destroy anything. It's broken, but it's still fucking amazing that you can do that. It's crazy. But yeah, the dungeons are pretty good. Like, I have a couple of favorite dungeons, like the Ice Ruins. I really like that. I really like the Dark Palace. I love the concept of shadow light, I like to call it, where it's like when it's completely dark in a room, you see like ghostly light platforms, and it's just really cool concept. You know, it's just a great game. It literally surprised me when I was playing through it. I'm like, wow, Nintendo pushed this out. This is fucking insane. This is insane quality right here. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it was giving A Link to the Past a run for its money, and that's my favorite Zelda of all time. Nothing beats A Link to the Past. Nothing. It's really awesome. So that's all I really wanted to say. I mean, I really wanted to talk about it. I really wanted to talk about this game because it's fucking fantastic. Oh man, this game is my favorite 3DS game. Probably my game of the year. Oh man. So yeah, I'm gonna I'm gonna go. I mean, I could talk about more things. I really can't. I'd have to think about it, but I've said all there is to say about it. Go out and get this game. Play the shit out of it. It's amazing. I'm gonna go eat, and after I eat, I'm gonna play this game. I haven't played it yet, but yeah, I've been waiting to play this game. So yeah, have lots of fun. All right. See you later.